All right, by technological error, we are back on trail, but we are about 15, maybe even closer to 20 miles north of the trail we were supposed to go back to. So we are at Santiam Pass right now, and where we got off the other day was the Mackenzie Pass. And yeah, we're just driving along, got an Uber to take us here, and driving down the highway, and we see a sign that says Pacific Crest Trailhead. I'm like, huh, that's odd, where the heck are we? And then I look at the maps and we were on the Santiam Highway instead of the Mackenzie Highway. And the destination that I had set in was, Uber did not have the correct destination. So I don't really know what happened, but instead of driving another hour to get back to Mackenzie Highway, we just said, hey, let's just turn around and go to Santiam. So here we are, back on trail. We've got about a half day freed up now, which is pretty cool. And it is what it is. I'm not too hung up on it. But yeah, so here we are now. This stretch will take us to Timberline Lodge. A little recap on our zero in Bend. So we got a hitch pretty easily. It was wonderful. Guy named Joe. And he took us straight to a brewery in downtown Bend. He even had a beer with us. And he took us to the motel that we were able to lock accommodation at. It was really hard to find a place to stay the day of. Usually I try to reserve something a day ahead of time, and we were drinking beers, called up at least a dozen places to stay, and everywhere was fully booked. But we ended up finding a place. It was nice enough, and it was right next to a grocery outlet bargain market where we got to do all of our shopping, so that was cool. Bend. We did our resupply, washed ourselves, washed our clothes, went to REI, got new trekking poles, finally. My broken ones lasted me, I don't even know, I can't even estimate, at least 500 miles. So that's exciting. And ate a lot of food. We floated the Bend River via intertube. And we only had one inner tube among the three of us, so U-turn sat in the chariot. Lab Rat and I just held on and floated, and we just cruised down that thing. It was awesome. And we just watched movies, relaxed, slept. I even got a massage. Went in, got a massage right off the bat. So it was a great time. Bend was fun. There was a street festival. Saw a lot of arts and crafts, got some food, and yeah, time flies when you're on a zero, but felt really great. Anyways, excited to be back on trail though, and I'm excited to see my parents and my wife in like 4.5 days. So exciting. We got a lot of reports from other hikers about this stretch of trail after Santiam Pass, north of it, having a lot of blowdowns. And yeah, I can confirm there's a lot of blowdowns. Good morning. Slept last night at Wasco Lake. It was beautiful. I didn't sleep too well though, because there were some big dead trees in our vicinity, and it was breezy all night, and you could just hear those trees creaking. And sometimes they would creak so loud and so long it would wake me up. But I was just trying to pretend that I was sleeping on a beautiful wooden sailboat. And it was creaking in the water. That helped a little bit, but on top of that, there were also some deer just making a ruckus last night. They were up partying, dancing, playing games. I don't know what they were doing, but they were making so much noise, and that also woke me up. Anyways, on today's forecast, we've got, from what we hear, is down tree hell. What we went through yesterday was but a small taste of what we're gonna get for the next 4 miles. Everyone says it's really bad, so we'll see. I've been through some pretty shitty conditions, so it may not be that bad, but we'll check it out. And then I guess after that, there's a fair bit of snow, some steeper snow sections that we'll have to go through. So it's really lining up to be an exciting day. Stick around and see what happens. It wasn't so bad. I think overall, rumors were overhyped. It was fine. I'd give it difficulty rating 5 out of 10. It slows you down, but it's not challenging. You're not gonna get lost or anything. It's pretty easy to keep on trail. I think that the people that are hiking southbound, maybe this was their first down tree section. And to that I say, welcome to Oregon. Just wait till NorCal. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Mentally, I was expecting it, so there were no surprises. I had some really fun, like gymnastic beam walks, crossing trees, and it was cool. I liked it. Yeah. Moving on to our second course for the day, we begin with snow. That's right. We have an inner tube. Floating to the center of a lake in the center of Oregon is definitely up there in the bucket list activities. And I highly recommend it to anybody. Oh, it was just so pleasant. Shout out to U-Turn for having a dream and packing out this beautiful inner tube. In fact, we have named the boat Wet Dream. Good morning. Today's a special day for a couple reasons. First, it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. Second, today is PCT Midpoint Day. That means I will have hit 1,325 miles. Halfway done. I'm just a few days short of being out here for 3 months, and I think I can do the second half in around 2 months. That is the goal. We'll see what happens, but now the miles ahead of me are now getting incrementally shorter than the miles I have put behind me. Oh, momentum is in my favor. You see that sun? Oh! Good morning, sun. Good morning, world. There we go. All right, there it is. Halfway done. By mileage, of course. And this is not the official midpoint of the PCT, because remember I skipped like 700 miles of California. So anyways, as far as miles go, this is my personal super special midpoint that not many other people get to have. I don't know if I said this yesterday, but yeah, so I'm just a couple days shy of 3 months on trail, and I think that I'll get the rest of this wrapped up in 2 months. My average daily mileage is a lot higher than it was when I started, and just moving at a nice, strong, consistent pace. So hopefully I can maintain this and put this baby to sleep by mid-September. Only time will tell. I've got one more honorable mention as I navigate these ankle-busting rocks. And that's just, I want to say how something in my mind has changed. A switch has flipped. And I've noticed this maybe in the past week, maybe 2 weeks. But it's the way that I talk about the future. And it has changed from if to when. when I first started the trail, there's so much uncertainty about what I'm really capable of. Having a couple injuries, not sure how those would react to life on trail, things like that. And I was just really being grateful for one day at a time. And because I was never sure if one of those days was going to be my last. And I've just noticed now when I'm planning and talking about where I'm going to be, it's just a matter of saying that, you know, I will get here. This is when I'm going to get here. This is when I'm going to get there. And I think it's because I have just proven to myself that I can do it. I'm not invincible. I have weaknesses, and I have learned to work with them. I've made peace with them, and I'm able to keep myself going forward. And that's really cool. Well, sure, anything could happen any day out here, but as far as my mindset goes, it's that I will get to Canada, I will flip, I'll finish NorCal, I'll finish in the Sierra, I will hike the trail. And that's pretty cool. Obviously it would be devastating if something happened, but I have that confidence now that I can fully do this. That feels good. Yeah, just walking through yet another burn zone. There's a lot of burnt areas in Oregon. We hit one pretty much every day, but that's okay because there are many good things in Oregon too. For example, we are on our way to Olali Lake, where there is a resort, which is like a campground, I guess. I don't know, but they have a camp store, and they serve beer and soda and snacks. So we're pushing on for that. It should be a great lunch. All right, I'm about a mile out from Olali Lake. I was just there, stopped for lunch. And it's a quiet, quaint little lakeside area that has some cottages that people can stay in. I thought it was just all right, just aight. They had cold beers and soda, which was exactly what I wanted. But I was a little bit irked because you're not allowed to swim in the lake. You can't swim in it. They use it for drinking water. You're not allowed to use motorized boats, so it's all rowboats, kayaks, canoes, etc. Fishing, things like that. So I really could have used a swim. But on a positive note, we saw 2 bald eagles flying around the lake. They actually got pretty close to us, and I was able to get a good look at them, which was really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen bald eagle before in the wild. So that was awesome. From Olali Lake, it's going to be another short-ish day, probably like 22, 23 miles. Crazy to say that's a short day, but that's what it is. So we've probably got about 8 miles to go, and then I will go to sleep. That is today's program. It's a little bit after 1:30, and I just finished lunch. I'm just embracing how difficult it is to get up and walk after I've sat down for an extended period of time. I feel it in the morning, after breaks, at the end of the day. I get up and it's like my feet are hooves, like goat hooves or something, and they're so stiff and so sore. The first like 15-20 minutes of walking is really just like hobbling all over the place, just like swerving from one side of the trail to the other, just trying to get my body reset and going. It's tough. I think this is just the effects of 3 months of hard walking. But once I get going, I'm a machine. Anyways, body's still getting back into the swing of things. And I think I've hiked like 17 miles today so far. The goal is 28 miles, and then that will put me 15 miles out from Timberline Lodge tomorrow. I'll probably get there by midday, and I really want to do the breakfast buffet. Lunch buffet also sounds incredible, but I think what I'll do is have breakfast at Timberline the day after tomorrow. So I'm taking a 00 in the Timberline area, which I think is much needed. My body will be most grateful for that. But I still want to hit the breakfast buffet when I have my hiker hunger turned on so I can just ravage it. Anyways, super excited to get to Timberline. The wife and parents will meet me there. Tomorrow night they'll get into town, and then I'll get 2 whole days with them. So I'm really looking forward to it, and that is all the motivation I need to keep pushing on. Anyways, should be a wonderful day. I think swimming is going to be in my future. I do feel a bit ripped off because I didn't get to swim yesterday, and yeah, it's been really nice miles today so far, and I've got a good like 10-mile stretch of pretty much flat ground. So I've got to let my body realign, and then I'm gonna send it. Great day though. One more mention is yesterday I was walking and just thinking about all of the encounters, magic, surprises, all the unknowns that I have experienced in the past few months on trail, and how special those things are. And I'm thoroughly enjoying myself out here, but I do feel like I've got nothing left to prove, and it's those unplanned moments of adventure and magic that really make it special out here. And that's why I still want to stay out, so I can keep experiencing those things. That's what being on trail is all about. So, we stopped short. Kramer stopped short! Seinfeld reference. Shortly after we went for a swim, we noticed that there was a campsite 2 miles away from us, and it was still on the same lake. It's a big lake. And the thought crossed our mind, maybe we should just camp here instead. So we thought, okay, we'll just hike and we'll check it out. And then we got here and it's just gorgeous. We've got a private little beachfront, tons of beautiful trees, nice flat spots, and it was 4:40 in the afternoon and we called it camp. So this is probably the earliest that we've stopped hiking in a long time. And we are thoroughly enjoying it. I'm taking about an hour just to stretch, and I'll probably go swimming after. Labrat and U-Turn are out swimming right now. And it's just wonderful. Definitely sets us back a little bit, but we definitely want to get to Timberline tomorrow, but we're not in the biggest rush. So we're about 20 miles out from Timberline Lodge, and I'm cool with that. So I'm just going to relax and try and treat myself to some self-love and enjoy the evening. Oh, yesterday evening was just amazing. It was warm, there was a cool breeze, a little lakeside beach, a couple extra hours of downtime, but the most amazing thing about all of that was that there was not one single mosquito the whole time. We could just sit outside, cook dinner, stretch, lay out, sunbathe, whatever we wanted. We didn't have to be afraid. We didn't have to hide. We could be ourselves. I would pay money for that. That is the greatest gift of all. No mosquitoes. I almost forgot what that felt like. Anyways, it's Timberline day. I've already started hiking, so less than 20 miles to go. We'll probably have a beer when we get there. And then I'm gonna meet my family at a lovely little cabin nearby. And I'm taking a 00. So excited.